Hey guys, today I'll be teaching you how to overclock your graphics card. For example, I have my GTX 960 here, X-Lock edition. You'll need two programs, a benchmark of your choice, and MSI Afterburner. So let's start off. First, you're going to have to press settings in Afterburner and go to here and tick these two, unlock voltage control and unlock voltage monitoring. So you can modify your voltage. So what I like to do first is I like to go to a forums website and I like to see what people are getting on their cards. So I searched up 960 overclocks so I can see what other people are getting on their 960s. So this guy's getting 115 and 200. 115 for his core, 200 for his mem. What I like to do is I like to underclock that by around 10. So he's getting 115. I'll put 105 here. I'm not going to modify my memory clock just yet because we have to do it one at a time. I press apply. And then I'll run my benchmark. I'm just going to move it to my second monitor. And when you're running your benchmark, you want to look at your temps, and if they are alright for you, then you can keep it there. But if you don't like how high your temps are, if you know your temps are too high, then you have to increase your fan speed to 100 over here. You press auto and then you increase it to 100. I'm just going to leave it on auto because it's going to be noisy. So the second thing you want to look for is artifacts in the graphics itself. So as you can see in this little, I don't know what it's called, you're going to want to look for like weird dots or any irregularities that shouldn't be there. And if you see any irregularities, it's either because your card's running too hot, so cooling, or your clock is too high and your card just can't run it that high. So what I would do is I would increase my fan speed, and if it's still artifacting, I would just decrease my core clock by 10. Yeah, that's usually what I do. I usually increase it by 10 if it's working, like as you can see it didn't crash, and I decrease it by 5 if it crashes. So I'm just going to go and get the maximum clock and I'll skip back to you. So basically what you want to do is increase it by 10, and if you want you can increase your core voltage to keep going even if your benchmark crashes, and look for irregularities. So I'm just going to increase it to 115. Oh crap, 115, and I'm going to run my benchmark. And I'll be back to you if it crashes. As you can see, I didn't crash. And I'm going to increase it by another 10. If it crashes, you can increase your core voltage by 5 to keep going, even if it's unstable. And basically, the core voltage gives you more room to overclock your stuff, but your temperatures will go higher. I'm not gonna modify my core voltage because my temps are pretty high already, because I'm leaving it on auto. But yeah, you're going to need to tick these two if you want to modify your core voltage. Don't worry, it's not going to break your graphics card. Just go in increments of 10 if you're crashing at your core clock, or you can just be like me and leave it without touching core voltage. So I'm going to see if 125 runs on the benchmark, and I'll get back to you if my thing crashes or not. As you can see, I didn't crash with 125, and I could go to 135 if I wanted to, but I know this card will crash because my max is 130 actually. I've tested it before, but you can keep going because cards there's a thing called silicon lottery where not all cards are made equally, so your card might be able to go over like 500, 250, but mine stops at 130. So I'm just going to leave it there, and I'm going to start working on my memory clock. So as you can see, the guy here said he got 200, so I'm not going to underclock this because I know my card is capable of higher clocks, so I'm just going to leave it at 200. I'm going to press apply, and then I'm going to once again keep testing my benchmarks. If I see any artifacts or if it crashes, you have to decrease it by 50, and yeah, keep going until it's stable. As you can see, I didn't crash. If I had crashed then, I would decrease this to 150 and test it. If it was stable at 150, I just leave it there. But I didn't crash, so I'm going to increase by another 100. My rule is memory clock, increase by 100. If you crash, decrease by 50. So I increased it to 300. Let's see if it's stable. I'll skip to the end. So guys, my recording kind of messed up. The 300 memory clock did not work out, and my final clock that I was able to get was 200 from my memory. You can go higher if your clocks are stable and your core voltage is still 0. You can go higher. Just reset everything. Just set your memory clock to 0 and increase your core voltage and overclock your core clock again, like I did earlier. Because your core voltage will increase your temperatures, but it will allow your card to go to clock higher. So yeah, I haven't increased my core voltage at all, and these are the max I'm able to get. I'll with my core voltage up to 20, I was able to get 130 and 500, I think. Yeah, 130 and 500 on this. But yeah, once you find a stable clock, you're going to want to go into a game. Any game, as long as make sure it's like graphics intensive. So something like The Witcher 3. You're going to want to go into Witcher 3, and you're going to want to tune your clock so that you want to tune your overclock so that artifacts and stuff don't appear and your temps are fine in game. And once you find a stable clock, you're all set. That's how you overclock your graphics card using Afterburner and Combustor. I hope you learned something. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.